a new year. It is now the 11th day of a new year, which makes it a perfect starting point for me. And so I decided I would come in and record a little bit of a time capsule kind of an idea, something like that. Only I'm doing it from inside a sauna, and that's because I have a sauna. This is a really nifty sauna, and a lot of people are looking to try to figure out ways to make new studios, and they use fake walls to give you impressions that they're in places they really aren't. But hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Panpsychic Sauna. Hello, and welcome to the first ever podcast episode from the Panpsychic Sauna. This is a special sauna. A lot of people are looking to try to create cool television studios in their home, whereas they need custom lighting, stuff like that. I think I got that handled here. Hello, this is Warren Dexter, and this is the Panpsychic Sauna. Welcome, come on in, get naked. It's like this is the place to be. You just need good lighting. If you have good lighting, then you've got an effective studio. That's what I understood anyway. And then you do this. If you do this and you talk to people like this, then they know you mean business. So, welcome to the Panpsychic Sauna. Panpsychism, what the heck is that? Well, that's a theoretical world of trying to understand what might be going on in the world of consciousness. Anyway, trying to figure out whether or not there is anything to do with, new science. I usually get really intrigued by, but this is the first thing I'd run across that had a new science-y vibe. And turns out it's a pretty big deal. Panpsychism, Panpsychism. Panpsychism is an idea that is really theoretical, but it's become kind of exciting in the world of quantum physics and new technologies of communication, light speed, everything. So this is an opportunity to look at something like consciousness and unwrap it with some idea that it might even be magic consciousness. It might be some magical thing we don't quite get yet. How can I be connected to you through a TV or a internet? Why are we connected? How are we connected? Are we brothers and sisters, as we talk about sometimes? Are we the same thing? Are we a hive mind? Is there a mind that is all of ours? And as the idea that panpsychism has come forward into an arena of quantum physics, where you're talking about new ideas about connectivity, the idea that a rotating form of matter over here, a single molecule or something that has a pattern going on here, can be emulated by a pair, another piece of something, piece of matter somewhere else, and that we can identify ways that these are connected, the quarks and all kinds of funky words they're using. But they're saying that this thing over here that has nothing touching over here to this thing is somehow communicating to this thing over here. And that would be totally unique, except that that's the way we do things. I'm here and I'm communicating to you and you're far away, and we've just used these packaging methodologies to be able to get it together to where you can hear it. But I'm sad and I'm scared, and I've grown up being really proud of my country, and I've been growing up being really proud of the consciousness, the consciousness that we share. And I'm just not quite understanding how in the heck we've gotten so divided as people, and how it is that we've begun to really foul things up, create a very heartless society. And I have children, and I have hopefully grandchildren to look at someday. And this all just seems nutty. It seems like we're at a point where we have to re-baseline everything. And so when I feel that way, I go into the sauna and I turn it up, and I just try to relax. And so rather than being some very political, that's what if you know me on Facebook or anything, I'm this very, I don't know. I guess sadly I've become a bit of an agitator. I see somebody put something out there and I don't think it's true, and so I will challenge it, and over time I've become even kind of mean and rude. I'm getting really tired of feeling like the world is going down the tubes, and I don't want it to. So my thought was, hey, everybody's got one of these podcasts. I'll make a podcast, and we'll see if anybody likes it. Maybe my children can flip it on and watch it when I'm gone. Anyway, I'd really like to find a way to bridge the gaps that we've created between people, to remind people again about how much opportunity we have to be able to be just incredible, how we could be so cool. We used to be so cool. And somehow we started finding ways to be really bored at just being cool, and we realized we weren't cool enough. In fact, we had a heart of darkness. We deeply racist country. Lots of problems, lots of crime. Just not like the country I grew up in. So we're trying to find a way to put it right. And I think that one of the ways to do that is to, these podcasty kind of things that you see out there where everybody's just trying to share their own information with you, those are great. You should watch as many as you can. And I'm not looking for sponsors here for my podcast. I really just hope there's some way to invite you here into my Panpsychic Sauna and have you see that we live in a magical place. We live in a place where we should feel very lucky, very fortunate all the time. And we should start having some more fun. We have governments that have grown too big. And we have one here, but it's dwarfed by the one over in China. That's kind of the big powerhouse government on the planet now. They kill their people if they don't like what they say. If anybody rises up and tries to make, say, a panpsychic podcast from their sauna, and they happen to utter one word that isn't appreciated, they'll be sweating, and they might be dead. And it's just wrong. We've allowed the nation of China to become too strong. And yet, that's only the government structure of the CCP these days. The beautiful part of the Chinese nation is that they may be our oldest real civilization on the planet, and that the Chinese have probably taught the world more than any other civilization. And we need what the Chinese have taught us. We need to be able to respect the fact that the ancient Chinese secrets are more than about doing some laundry. They are about how to get your mind right and how to be humble, and how to understand that there are things that are bigger than you and that we need to work together. Communism is an interesting idea. It would be great if it weren't for the fact that the people who take charge of it make themselves rich and kill off anybody they don't like. If it weren't for the fact that human nature is more predisposed to being a leader, a human, dictators are really quite human. We tend to want control over everything we touch. And it's too bad, because we really could do a lot more for one another if we could just back off a little bit, trust one another, allow, have some tolerance, a little bit of tolerance for things like comedy, levity, panpsychism. Anyway, we have a mess. Big elections coming up, and we don't know what's going to happen with our world here. We keep hearing from Republicans now that, it's no problem, we're going to vote out those Democrats. But you can see there's a lot more than that going on now. It's really just the people who have the power versus the people that don't. And the people that have the power keep trying to offer that power through to surrogates. And then they get them to do their bidding, and essentially they become their slaves. And we don't want that. We don't want to live like slaves. So we're going to free our minds. We're going to use the power of meditation, thoughtfulness, and we're going to make ourselves awake and aware. I'm no expert at this, but I can tell you that if you like the phrase the 30,000 foot view, or panpsychism, is a bit further away than that. Wow, this heat is starting to get me. Whew, I better get naked a little bit here. Sorry about that. Oh gosh, that feels good. Okay, so I've only got a few more minutes left in this panpsychic sauna, because I can't handle the heat. And if you can't handle the heat, you gotta get out of the sauna. And that's kind of nice. That's why I wanted to come in here. I knew if I came in and started talking too much, well, the sauna would just usher me out. Like, you better figure out what you're gonna say and say it. So, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you back. If you find any list of tracks called the Panpsychic Sauna, or you see any podcasts that are labeled that way, come check it out. I got a feeling we can talk about current events, and we can get back to that layer where we're really magic. We're magical people, and we're going to be powerful. We're going to find a way to share power and love and friendship. And we're going to send messages to people like the Chinese government that they need to learn a little bit about sustainability. Even though they've sustained what they have for so long, they're going to have to see that if they want to sustain what they've got now, they've got to do it by being a little nicer, or else they're going to get wiped out, no matter how big and strong they think they are. And that's the truth for all of us. Panpsychism is a neat way of looking at the world, but it does not discount the law of entropy, which says that we're breaking down. We're trying our best not to break down, but we're breaking down. So we have to find a way to take what we have and assemble it and hand it to the people younger than we are, so that they won't break down. And anyway, I gotta say, I'm doing this because whoever you are watching this video, I love you. I'm convinced that we are connected somehow, and that you're supposed to be here, and that you're supposed to dream up some crazy way to reach out and tell people that your mind is elevated beyond that of just the daily noise, that you're paying attention to more than just whatever the hot story of the day is, and that you realize that the world and the universe larger picture than just whatever the media can boil out for us today. So I love you. Thank you for joining me here on episode 1 of the Panpsychic Sauna. These are all going to be short episodes, and I'm really glad we could have this chance to meet this way, because I've never felt more alone, and I don't mind being alone in a sauna, but I'm planning to do it this way. I'm going to reach out through the internet. I'm going to ask you right now that I want your questions. I want a chance to sit here in my sauna and ponder your questions. I want to answer them for myself, and we'll just see if anybody else likes them or wants the answers. I think we need more chat. We don't need a moderated chat. We need a fully free form, wide open, panpsychic super chat. Anyway, I love you. Have a great day. Hope to see you next time in the Panpsychic Sauna.